Welcome in to the latest episode of the Betting the Pitch podcast. I'm your host, the real underscore G Warner. You can find me on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, and YouTube, all under at the real underscore G Warner. Best handle you could ever create in a journalism class in 2009 or wherever the heck I was, maybe 2008. Anyway, we're here. We're going to go through each of the top five European soccer leagues. We might do two different versions of this podcast because unfortunately I'm very short on time, but I wanted to make sure I got something out there. We'll start where the money is, and that is in the English Premier League, which will start with an early Saturday morning kickoff. Manchester City hosting Tottenham. Currently, City a 1.25 goal favorite. All the juice on Tottenham right now. Total is 3.25. Juice very heavily to under. So Tottenham had a great start to the season. Got a big win at home against Burnley. Looked good in the Supercopa de UEFA Super Cup. Manchester City, though, were pretty dominant in their win at Wolves on the road and have looked like they've done a great job in signing new talent. I'm pretty concerned about fading Man City, so I'll skip to the next game. We'll go to Bournemouth hosting Wolves. Currently, Bournemouth 3/4 goal favorites at home. Total is 2.75. Juice pretty heavily to under. All the juice looks like it's on Wolves. So I expect Wolverhampton Wanderers to play a lot better. They were a very defensive side last season. We'll see if they continue that this year. But ultimately, Bournemouth have lost a ton, especially they've lost really a lot of defenders, and they're trying to figure out how to replace them all. I don't really like that setup, I must say. I think that's a big problem. So I'll go Wolverhampton 3/4 of a goal underdog, and I'll also lean to that under 2.75. We'll move next to Brentford hosting Aston Villa. Currently, Brentford quarter goal underdogs at home. Juice is split both ways. Total here is 2.75. Again, juice very heavily to under. So, Brentford, to me, they've lost a lot of talent. Their manager, a lot of those things. Aston Villa got off to a really poor start at home to Newcastle, but long season for them, and we'll see where they end up going. Um, I'm pretty concerned about Brentford not being a very good team, so I don't know that I want much to do with their quarter goal underdog status. I do like home underdogs, but probably not here. If anything, I'll lean to an under 2.75. I need to see Aston Villa showing some sort of offense because they showed none at home to Newcastle. Move next to Burnley hosting Sunderland, two newly promoted sides from the Championship division. This is going to be very interesting to see what happens here. Currently, Burnley quarter goal favorites at home, which is basically what I subscribe to all home teams. So standard equal teams, and um, they are doing that, but we'll see. Sorry, I got a text. But total on this one is just two. It's very heavily juiced to over. I think we saw 2.25 early in the week. I imagine we'll get back there, but we'll see if that happens. Should be a really tight game. Two promoted sides probably have circled on their calendar that this is where they need to get 3 points. That might mean more aggression than you normally expect, but I feel like from a tiny total at just two, there's not a lot of goals expected. For that reason, Sunderland's interesting to me. Burnley looked like they were threatening Tottenham a fair amount, but it wasn't that impressive, I didn't think. Lean, I think, strongest to under two, but the quarter of a goal on a team away from home off of a very big win does seem a little bit dangerous, but also seems like something that could work out. Move next to Arsenal hosting Leeds, and that is the nightcap on Saturday. Arsenal 1.75 goal favorites with all the juice on Leeds on the road team. Total is three, just a little bit more to under. So Leeds, newly promoted back to the Premier League, have a huge fan base, will travel and I'm sure take all their ticket allotment on the road. But Arsenal look really great. They keep signing new players. Eberechi Eze has just gone down, stolen from Tottenham, it seemed, last minute. I don't know that I want to get in the way of fading Arsenal right now. I think the only way I'd do it is to lean to an under three in that matchup, but I gotta say it's not a really strong lean. We'll move next to Crystal Palace hosting Nottingham Forest, and that's on Sunday morning here in the United States. Currently, Palace quarter goal favorites at home. All the juice on Nottingham Forest away. Total is 2.25. Juice very heavily to over right now. I think based on the Eze news, let's see how Crystal Palace will create. I think the quarter goal underdog on Nottingham Forest might not be around. It's very juiced at the moment. And I'll also lean to an under 2.25, excuse me, because that's exactly the way that Nottingham Forest want to play. We move next to Everton hosting Brighton. Currently, Everton quarter goal underdogs at home with all the juice. Total in this one is 2.5, juiced all the way to under. I thought the refereeing was incredibly bad for Brighton and favored them a ton. I thought they could have given at least one penalty, as most three, probably some that I didn't even see. None were credited, but they did concede a goal in the 96th minute of +6. So to me, I think there's a lot of improvement there. I don't think they deserve to be a road favorite. So give me Everton quarter goal underdogs. And I don't see much goal scoring from either team here. So I'll go under 2.5 in that one as well. To Sunday, still on Sunday, I guess, to the nightcap on Sunday in the Premier League. We'll go Fulham. They are a quarter goal underdog at home to Manchester United. Total in this one is 2 and 3/4. Used very heavily to under. I see no reason to believe in Manchester United at this point. They need to prove it. They haven't done it for years. I'll lean to the home underdog there and to under as well, as I think we see a low scoring game. Next, we'll go to Newcastle hosting Liverpool. The last match we'll cover on this episode from the Premier League, that is. Newcastle, half of a goal underdog at home with all the juice. Total in this one is 3, just more to the over. Newcastle, to me, I thought, played fine on the road at Aston Villa. Took the crowd out of the game, dominated, had tons of shots. I think none were on target for either team in the first half. I think it was 8-0 though. So I like what I saw from them. Don't really want to play any unders with Liverpool because I'm questioning their defense pretty significantly. I think the Newcastle offense is great at home too, so I like Newcastle getting a half of a goal at home as my biggest interest on Monday in the English Premier League. But for the ultimate best bet, which I'll give one from each of the leagues, then smash it all together at the end for a Instagram reel at the real underscore G Warner and on uh, YouTube as well at the real underscore G Warner. But I think from this perspective, it's got to be one of the home underdogs, either Everton or Fulham on Sunday. And I will go with Fulham quarter goal underdogs. I think they've had a really good shake whenever they play Manchester United. Move next to Spain in La Liga as we get into Jornada Dos, or the second week of games there. We'll start with Mallorca hosting Celta de Vigo. Currently, Mallorca at Pick'em with all the juice. Total is 2, juiced all the way to over. So that's a surprise considering Mallorca playing a second straight home game. Also a surprise, but I can't really see much to believe in them, especially without Vedat Marici, their La Pirata, their top goal scorer. If he got a red card, unless that's been rescinded, I missed it. They're a great home team. I think I'd want to get the quarter goal of insurance. So if you draw, you'll win half your bet. But taking 2 red cards in the first half against Barcelona is pretty tough. It was going to be tough anyway, 2 goals down, but then losing 2 players as well, not great. To lean to pick them, and I lean to the under in this one as well, probably under 2 and 1/4 if we get there, but I'll play the under 2 right now. Atletico Madrid then hosts Elche. Currently, Atleti 1 and 3/4 goal favorites. All the juice on Elche away from home. Total is 2 and 3/4. She's pretty heavily to under. I think I need to see it from Elche before I can believe them as their newly promoted side from the Segunda División, have been in the Premier League as recently as 2 seasons ago. And I think the real question is on the Atletico Madrid side, how much can they score? What are they going to look like? Because they've been pretty bad since Christmas of last year, basically, when their schedule really turned up and they weren't able to do much with it. So lean to the underdog and under, but I'm not sure they're strong leans at the moment. To the nightcap on Saturday, we'll go to Levante hosting Barcelona. Currently, Levante 2 goal underdogs at home with all the juice. Total is 3.5. So Barcelona, are a team I don't really want to play unders with because they can score a ton. Their defense is always at taking risks. It's worked very well for them. They won La Liga last season, but I think the big question is how does Levante handle this level? Same sort of questions as Elche. I'll lean to the 2 goal underdog at home just because they're at home, but I don't think there's much more for me there. Move next to Osasuna. They are hosting Valencia. Currently, Osasuna quarter goal favorites at home. All the juice on Valencia away. Total is 2 and 1/4, juiced all the way to under. So Valencia, I feel like they're going to grow a lot this season. They've been growing a lot in previous seasons, and we'll see what they end up turning into. But to me, I think Valencia are a better club. Osasuna plays really well at home, and that's the biggest question: is can El Sadar get them all the way across the finish line? I don't think they can, but quarter goal certainly with all the juice on the road team is kind of signifying that the market doesn't believe in Osasuna just yet this season. Move next to Real Sociedad hosting Espanyol. Current Sociedad a half a goal favorite at home with all the juice. Total is 2 and 1/4, and it's juiced very heavily to under. So I lean both those ways, both the underdog and under. I think we're going to have a really rough year for Real Sociedad with manager change, a lot of their players leaving, and a really poor season, and especially a close to last season. Espanyol have been great, lost their goalkeeper across town to their big rival, Barcelona, but I think they're going to do a lot with Marko Dimitrovic. He's shown in the past that he can play a pretty solid goalkeeper, and I'll lean to the Espanyol side. Move next to Villarreal, hosting Girona. Currently, Villarreal 1 goal favorites at home with all the juice. Total in this one is 2 and 3/4, just pretty heavily to over. Girona were not good, got their goalkeeper red card in the first half, made a lot of big mistakes. They should respond, but I'm pretty concerned about how they're going to keep goals out and really what they're going to look like this season. If anything for me, I think I'll play or lean to an under 2 and 3/4 here. I don't know if there's much I want to do with that though. Girona are a team I want to fade. We'll move next to Real Oviedo hosting Real Madrid. Currently Oviedo 1.5 goal underdog at home with more juice. Total on this one is 2 3/4, just a little bit more to over. Now Real Oviedo, they took a red card in the first half on the road at Villarreal last week and really didn't do much, but kept the game pretty low scoring. I think if anything for me, I always lean to the home teams, certainly home underdogs. 1.5 is gigantic. But Real Madrid are much better, and that's a concern for me. Total feels a little small at 2 3/4. I think that reflects a low scoring season that we'll see from Real Oviedo. Move next to Monday. Got two matches there. We have Athletic Club de Bilbao and Rayo Vallecano. Current Athletic Club with 3/4 goal favorites, a little bit more juice at home. At San Mamés, total is 2.25, and it is juiced slightly more to under. So, backed Rayo in their opener. Unfortunately, they scored too many goals for the under to hit as well, but they got a big win away from home. They're going to play the same way, only further strengthened by that result. I do like Athletic Club a lot this season. I think they're going to be great at home, but forever I like the Rayo boys getting 3/4 of the goal. Would love to get a full goal of insurance. I don't think that's going to happen. I'll lean to under 2.25 there as well, as I think we see a low scoring game, maybe 1-0 Athletic Club, and you can split and win, which would be nice. And last but not least, Sevilla hosting Getafe. Currently, Sevilla quarter goal favorites at home with more juice. Total in this one is 2, juice pretty heavily to under. And I wouldn't let that 2 go if you're looking to play under. I think it will. I don't believe in Sevilla. They need to prove it. Getafe plays really, really low scoring games. Esto es football poppy, as Pepe Barros, their manager, says. So I'm on board with Getafe scoring a very low scoring matchup, that is. So I'll lean under in that one. Under 2 is pretty interesting. For my best bet in this episode, another Sunday match that I like, and that is I do like, yeah, I think Sunday is the best one for me. It's that Real Sociedad Espanyol match, and I'll go under 2.25 in that matchup, because I think that's the best pick of the litter. Move next to Serie A, as I'm wearing an Inter Milan kit. If you're watching live on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, please leave a 5-star review. If you're on YouTube, please hit subscribe. It doesn't do the same, but it does something similar. We'll move next to Italy, and we'll start the beginning of the Italian Serie A season. We'll start with Genoa hosting Lecce. Currently, Genoa 1/2 goal favorite at home, a little bit more juice on Lecce away. Total is 2 in this one, just all the way to over. And I think all I can really look toward is under 2 here, because I don't really trust Lecce. And I don't trust Genoa, who are a favorite at home for good reason, but they haven't scored much. They play great defense under Patrick Vieira. I expect that to continue. Move next to Sassuolo hosting Napoli. Currently, Sassuolo 1-goal underdogs at home with all the juice. Total in this one is 2.5, juice all the way to under. And Sassuolo are newly promoted from Serie B. Were great last season. We're pretty competitive in Coppa Italia. Napoli, defending champions, Scudetto 2 out of the last 3 seasons. I don't really trust them or think they're that good. So I'm interested in Sassuolo as a 1-goal underdog, and I'll play or lean toward the under 2.5, though that's not really the style that Sassuolo play. Sassuolo want to score, Napoli want to contain. Might be a tough mixture for a newly promoted side getting ready from Serie B promotion to Serie A, but we'll see what happens there. We'll move next to Roma hosting Bologna. Currently, Roma 1/2 goal favorite at home. All the juice on Bologna away. Total is 2.25. Juice pretty heavily to over. And I'm very curious to see what this Roma team looks like. I really like their manager, Gianpiero Gasperini, and I don't really want much to do with fading them, and I want to see what happens with that first matchup. Move next to Milan, Jose Cremonese. Milan 1.5 goal favorites, all the juice on Cremonese away. Total is 2 3/4, just a little bit more to over. I need to see Cremonese play on this level. They were really bad in Serie A a couple seasons ago, and I don't really trust them. Moving to Sunday, Como hosting Lazio. Currently Como, pick them at home with all the juice. Total is 2.5 and juice all the way to under. And this is incredible based on Lazio dominating #1 seed, I think, in Europa League last season, and now they're an underdog in the opener to a second sophomore club promoted in 2025 and barely, or 2024-25, and then somehow now a favorite. I'll lean to Como at home at Pick'em. They were not great for unders last year, though, I must say that. Next, we'll go to Cagliari hosting Fiorentina. Currently, Cagliari 1/4 goal underdog at home on the island. Total is 2.25 here, just all the way to over. I'm not sure I believe in Fiorentina being that great. They've never really done much other than qualify for the Conference League, which is, I guess, upper echelon of the Serie A, but not great. I'll lean to Cagliari 1/4 goal underdogs here, and I will, I guess, lean to under 2.25. Though Fiorentina unders are not always my cup of tea. We'll next move to Juventus hosting Parma. Currently, Juventus a 1.25 goal favorite. Almost all the juice on Parma away. Total in this one is 2 3/4, and it's juice all the way to under. Now, Parma to me are pretty talented, but have gone through a lot of changes. We'll see what that looks like. I think I'm more interested in under here, though I got to say those are a little bit scarier with Juventus, who look like they have an offensive manager in who is it? Juric? Juric? No, he was Tudor. Igor Tudor. That's who it is. Move next to Atalanta hosting Pisa, newly promoted. Atalanta 1.25 goal favorite with almost all the juice. Total in this one's 2 3/4. She's very heavily to over. I need to see Pisa and see what they do before I trust them, though I do think I want to be against Atalanta this season. I lean to Pisa getting a goal and a quarter in that matchup. Moving to Monday, Udinese hosting Verona. Currently, Udinese a half a goal favorite, a little bit more juice on the away team. Totals 2.25, juiced all the way to under. I think Verona are the side I want here, but I need to see them do it. I think I lean most strongly to under 2.25. And last but not least, Inter Milan as I shift my I guess kit into the center, and we'll go with Inter Milan goal and a quarter favorite at home to Torino. Total in this one is 2 3/4, just more to the over. I think Inter's one of the best clubs in the world. They clearly made a deep run to the Champions League final. They got embarrassed there by PSG. I think we see a pretty big season from them trying to avenge that. Not really sure I want to get too involved with anything there fading the what I think is the best club in Italy. For my best bet on this episode, I'll go with Lecce under 2 goals, as I think we see a low scoring matchup there. We'll move now to France, to Ligue 1, and as I am going to try to figure out some way to make sure I get my bets in on the baseball card today, which is going to be hard to do. So I might do a pause here and then come back to you in just 1 second.